So in the profession, particularly in the medical profession, I think there's a lot of misconception as far as general public is concerned. They are either not aware of the procedures performed, they are not aware of the complexities that can develop in a person with time due to his or her illness. Usually many things are there which are not controllable at a very later level, and that's the time when patient usually arrives. The patient thinks that doctor to kaise bhi karke bacha hi lega, and at the end, if you are coming at such a grave stage, then it becomes very difficult for doctors also. So I think this one huge gap between the patient's mindset and how they have to come to get their health at an earlier level, this plays a very important role. And second role is in understanding that doctors can't do everything. Patient always see everything with respect to negligence only. They think कि ऐसा हो रहा है तो अच्छा डॉक्टर ऐसे कर रहे होंगे, ऐसे कर रहे होंगे. They are not aware of all the burden that a doctor faces, maybe in government setting, maybe in private setting also. So all these things which are basically the misconceptions, these are the major reasons why there's a huge conflict between the doctor and a patient's mindset, and then obviously that leads to violence and all. So I think with respect to, yes, obviously increasing the security and all is something which is very doable and which should be done at front. It's not something that it's like a chamatkar ki aap aaye, aapko ek dawai mili and you get better. It's a gradual process, and often sometimes it's not even in our control.
Hi everyone, I'm Nidhi. Welcome back to my channel. So today on my channel we have got with us Dr. Akshat Juneja. I'm sure he does not require any sort of introduction. So in today's interview he has answered all the questions that might come to your mind, and then in the end we also had a rapid fire round. So basically for this rapid fire round we put out a question sticker on Instagram and we had the public ask us questions. So we collected all the questions and he has tried his best to answer all the relevant questions. Dr. Akshat Juneja, thank you so much for coming on my channel. Welcome to my channel. So let's start the interview. The first question is, what are some of the most important skills that you think a good doctor should possess, and what have you done to develop these skills in yourself?
So I think that again, the definition of good doctor is something which is very much controversial. Like everyone wants to be a good doctor, but in the end, it's all about being a good person as well. So I think the first of the qualities which I, as an intern right now, can develop is basically patient interaction. So in the busy OPDs, and when there are a lot of patients waiting for you, so there comes a time when you develop that peak ki bhai ab ho gaya, basically, right? And then you see like you are currently an intern, so you might not be able to prescribe the treatment, but you see your seniors also, sometimes they get frustrated and becomes very natural to lose your calm. But that's again something which we need to learn as a whole, that how to deal with the patient. But at the same time we need to also think कि वो भी worried है, उनकी जो भी condition है या उनके relatives की जो भी condition है. So all in all, I personally feel कि remaining calm is the most important thing, because every day that you will sit with a patient, आपके दिमाग में आपके दिन में कुछ ना कुछ चल रहा होगा, and it will surely reflect on your whatever task you are doing. So at the end of the day, if you can separate it कि वहाँ जो भी चल रहा हो, you can focus on your work. So I think that is a very important thing, and we get a lot of exposure of that right from our internship, because in our Indian settings as well, there's a lot of pressure of everything around, and then at the same time you need to also do your duties as well. So I think it's a great thing.
So the next question is, what inspired you to pursue a career in medicine, and how has your experience as an intern in India? How has it been till now?
Right. So I think medicine was obviously my number one choice from a lot of time. Because one thing that I personally felt in medicine is कि there is a huge options that are available. Oftentimes हमें ऐसा लगता है कि एक मतलब maths लेके या engineer बन के there are a lot of opportunities. But I personally thought कि yes, that's a particular field. But in medical also, there are a lot of opportunities. Once you become a doctor, obviously, then you have many things to cater to. Like you can also do counseling, maybe, if you want to. Basically it depends on the specialty, but all in all what you can do is there's a huge variety of experience. You can also do patient interaction. If you don't want it, you can be some other kind of specialist, and if you don't want to do any of these, then you can be some other kind of specialist. So again, the variety of options that is there, and the change is very something which is very instantaneous, which I felt at very great level, because I always thought of I wanted to be someone who want to do an MBA or be a businessman of some sort, koi company mein corporate meetings and all that. बट अगेन एट द सेम टाइम वहाँ पे जो डिफरेंस होता है इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट डिफरेंस टू द सोसाइटी, बट इतना एविडेंट नहीं होता एट द ग्रास रूट लेवल. But now I know ki even if one day if I even help one patient with whatever the problem they have, so basically I have contributed turant, I have seen the results turant, right? So that is something which really brings a great enlightenment for us. And again that is something which we can pursue, and again around that we can do many things, like even if I started teaching on YouTube, so this was something which was not a direct part of profession. Many people thought कि कैसे help करेगा, मतलब ठीक है, as first you are a student, later you are a doctor. So at the same time it's very important to develop some skills, and again once I did that, जो मेरा सर्कल था वो काफी एनहांस हुआ. मुझे पहले आई वाज लिटरली कि बस ये करना है, ये फर्स्ट ईयर एग्जाम देना है, सेकंड ईयर जो भी एग्जाम देना है, फिर नीट क्रैक करना है, फिर ये जो भी है. बट नाउ आई एम मोर ऑफ ओपन माइंडेड कि ओके आई नो व्हाट आर माय अपॉर्चुनिटीज आर, आई एम एक्सप्लोरिंग थिंग्स अ बिट, एंड व्हाटएवर गोज माय वे आई विल डू दैट थिंग.
How does it feel to be an intern in our country? Can you tell us about your experience in India?
Right, right. So internship in India in general, I think is more or less similar at all the places. Basically, you are a newborn doctor, as we can say right now. So obviously, you won't be able to do much of the procedures at your level. But again, some things like very basic things that you should know, and basic things, and how you can make a difference from that as well. Because again, like how the more you proceed higher in your medical career, you might be not able to do those basic things. Like right now you are free, like you right now you are no one, right? So you can do whatever you want, you can interact how much you want, you can help how much you wish, right? At the certain level, once you go up, then basically the responsibilities increases. So right now it's a very good period, and basically obviously there's a lot of things going on with respect to your PG preparation. Some are going for Indian settings, some are going from UK plab or USMLE and all. But all in all, the balance is very good, again depending on the branches. So like we all have some kind of hectic postings, some are lighter postings. So that time you get to know a lot of things. Like hectic postings में आपका दिन ऐसे जाएगा कि आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा कि आपका दिन कहाँ चलेगा. But at the same time there are lighter postings जहाँ पे आपको maybe 10 to 1 ही जाना है, या in fact less than that. So that time it's a good opportunity. कुछ लोग either utilize it in some kind of again covering up on their PG preparation, or some utilize in other kind of activities. So it's all up to us to balance all these things so that you can have a great internship.
So, I wanted to also ask you some questions about your YouTube journey. What inspired you to start creating your YouTube content?
Right. So I think it was in the year of lockdown, COVID 2020. So basically, everyone was at their home. है ना? We all had a lot of free time. We did not know what to do, what not to do in that particular time of frame. I was in my third year. So I basically, many juniors asked me when they were in their first year कि उस समय क्योंकि colleges बंद हो गए थे, तो dissection से लेके हर चीज़ बंद हो जाती. And first year student is not that very familiar of self study. फर्स्ट ईयर में यहाँ तो पढ़ते नहीं है, या बेसिकली कॉलेज में डिसेक्शन हॉल में जितना थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ लिया दैट्स फाइन. सो दैट वाज अ वेरी काइंड ऑफ सिचुएशन कि उन्हें समझ नहीं आ रहा था दैट व्हाट दे शुड डू. तो बेसिकली कुछ जूनियर्स ने लाइक फोन करके एंड लाइक कुछ थोड़े बहुत एक दो टॉपिक्स पढ़े, कुछ समझे. एंड आई यूज्ड टू टीच अर्लियर आल्सो इन माय कॉलेज. तो पहले मैं ऐसे मतलब जूनियर्स को एक दो रात पहले बायोकेमिस्ट्री से पूरा पढ़ा दिया फॉर देयर एग्जाम्स. तो वो लाइक एवरी सीनियर डज इन देयर कॉलेज. So that kind of situation was there. But then one of juniors suggested me कि आपने ये topic बना के मतलब I taught them via video and I sent the video. तो उन्होंने कहा ये video you should upload on YouTube. तो मतलब even if someone watches तो fine, नहीं भी देखा तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं, मतलब at least वहाँ पे एक रहेगा हमेशा के लिए. तो I had no idea back then. I think उस समय सिर्फ और सिर्फ NEET UG का content ज़्यादा रहता था. मतलब there was not much of MBBS related content on YouTube. So I had no idea, I had no expectations. Best part was this कि I had no expectations कि मुझे इतने subscribers या इतने views आने चाहिए. धीरे धीरे फिर I started uploading the lectures and I took it as like a challenge कि मतलब I have to just teach this topic to juniors. So basically I read that topic upfront from Guyton or maybe something like biochemistry का Harper, and then I made it crisp and then I uploaded it. So I just kept doing it until my exams came. So meanwhile जब तक मैं कर पाया तो मैंने फिर I think एक दिन के 2-3 वीडियो भी डाले हमने, और स्टूडेंट्स फिर उसको रेगुलरली लाइक क्लास फॉलो अप करने लग गए थे। तो एट द एंड आई थिंक 100 वीडियोस का कुछ सीरीज बन गया था फर्स्ट ईयर का, जिसमें ऑब्वियसली मतलब पूरा सिलेबस तो कवर नहीं हो सकता, बट जो बहुत ही डिफिकल्ट टॉपिक्स थे पर्टिकुलर,
टॉपिक्स।
हाँ, फिजियो बायोकेम के तो काफी सारे कवर कर लिए थे। अनाट मैंने इसलिए भी कवर नहीं की थी बिकॉज अनाट काफी एक्सटेंसिव है, अनाट काफी जगह ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल थी, और अनाट का मुझे भी लगता था कि कहीं ना कहीं 3D मॉडल ऑफ टीचिंग ज्यादा अच्छा रहता होगा। मतलब मैं पेन पेपर पे शायद उतना अच्छे से ना बता पाऊँ। तो आई वेंट फॉर physio biochem, and then it really got well, perceived by students, and then since then मतलब 19 बैच से स्टार्ट हुआ, तो आई थिंक वो ही फिर अपने जूनियर्स को बताते गए कि इस चैनल से पढ़ लो, इस चैनल से पढ़ लो। तो इवन इफ विदाउट मच ऑफ पब्लिसिटी या कुछ, तो इट केप्ट ग्रोइंग।
How do you balance your YouTube career with your main medical career? How do you keep the balance?
So this is something which I struggle even as of now, and I think every one of us does, because at the end you need to realize that कुछ ना कुछ तो छूटेगा ही, and you need to make peace with everything that you can do at your particular level. So basically, yes, it's all a problematic statement, but again some things like basic levels of managing, like जो भी हम management का, अगर आप in general भी YouTube पे या कहीं पे भी कुछ manage का मैनेजमेंट के लिए कुछ कोर्स लेते हैं, इन जनरल आप वीडियो भी देखते हो हाउ टू मैनेज योर टाइम। सो बहुत सिंपल रूल्स होते हैं कि लाइक जो भी आपको करना है, तो बेसिकली सपोज इफ आई वांट टू डू यूट्यूब, आई वांट टू डू जो भी मेरी स्टडीज है रेगुलर, वो तो आई अलॉट 6:1 का कुछ रेशियो। सो बेसिकली 6 दिन यदि मैं अपना पढ़ाई कॉलेज जो भी है मेरा सब चल रहा है, तो एक दिन आई कीप अ फ्री डे। सो फ्री डे सपोज इट्स ऑन संडे और इट्स ऑन वेंसडे वॉट एवर। तो उस दिन if I'm doing nothing, so I'll just start from morning, और उस दिन लगातार I can create all the content. So in that way your entire day is मतलब blocked for that particular task, and maybe in the evening you can go out or whatever you want basically, and then so that बाकी 6 दिन आप disrupt नहीं होते कि मुझे ये भी करना है वो भी करना है। आप 6 दिन अपना जो भी करना है आपको वो करिए। You can always balance this ratio। someone जिसे गिटार क्लासेस जाना है, तो उसका तो फिर अब उसको डेली जाना पड़ेगा, तो इधर दे कैन ब्लॉक कि यार रोज 5 to 7 नहीं कुछ करना है, दैट्स इट। सो दैट वे इट कैन कि यू ब्लॉक दैट पर्टिकुलर टाइमिंग कि इस समय से इस समय तक आई वोंट बी डूइंग एनी अदर एक्टिविटी देन दैट पर्टिकुलर एक्टिविटी, सो दैट आपका सारा फोकस उसी पे हो। और अगेन आपको ऐसा भी नहीं लगे कि मैंने टाइम वेस्ट कर दिया, क्योंकि मैं इस बारे में सोचा था सुबह से, फिर मैंने सुबह कुछ थोड़ा सा वीडियो का कंटेंट बनाया, फिर शाम में रिकॉर्ड करा, फिर रात में एडिटिंग करा, तो फिर पूरा दिन आपका उसी में जाता, बिकॉज यू आर ऑलवेज थिंकिंग दैट कि मैं क्या रिकॉर्ड करूंगा, क्या बोलूंगा, कैसा लगेगा लोगों को। एंड देन अगेन सेकंड थिंग इज दैट हाउ मच यू थिंक अपॉन द व्यूज। तो बेसिकली इफ यू स्टार्ट थिंकिंग इट इन टर्म्स ऑफ व्यूज, तो फिर आप शायद you get disturbed with the metrics and all that. So just keep making your content without thinking about anything else, and just keep doing this.
So, what advice would you give to other medical students who would also like to start their own YouTube channel and grow it into something big like yours?
Right. So I think again, the advice would not be specific for YouTube channel, but yeah, in general, if they want to start their anything venture, like maybe on Instagram or maybe anything that they want to pursue. So all in all, the first thing again would be stop focusing on the results. This applies to I think any part of our life, right from when we cleared NEET UG also. Sometimes we thought कि ये college मिलेगा, ये result आएगा, तो फिर हम उस हिसाब से मेहनत करते थे. But again, that is something which also does not happen every time. So first thing that you should stop worrying about the result, क्योंकि YouTube में अब scenario काफी different है, because अब YouTube Shorts is like taking over the entire thing. So अगर आप YouTube Shorts, अगर कुछ 5 YouTube Shorts भी आपके हिट होते हैं, तो it's no big deal कि आपके 10,000 सब्सक्राइबर्स विद इन अ वीक हो जाएं। बट एट माई टाइम आई स्टार्टेड, तब ऐसा शॉर्ट्स का कुछ कंसेप्ट नहीं था, तो बहुत टाइम लगता था यूट्यूब वीडियोस को हिट करने में। So basically, first thing is that you should have faith in whatever content you are delivering, and make sure कि it is adding value. Because अगर आपको ऐसा खुद ही लग रहा है कि आप जो बना रहे हो बकवास है, मतलब आप बस बना रहे हो क्योंकि इस पे व्यूज आते हैं या आपको पता है कि सभी बना रहे हैं, तो फिर शायद यू माइट नॉट गेट मोटिवेटेड। आपको कुछ टाइम अच्छा लगेगा, उसके हो सकता है व्यूज भी आ जाए, बट एक पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम के बाद आपको ऐसा लगता है कि मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, राइट। सो वन थिंग इज दैट इफ यू आर कॉन्फिडेंट कि आपका जो भी कंटेंट है उससे किसी को हेल्प हो रही है या आपको हेल्प हो रही है, जो भी है, तो इट्स गुड। तो फर्स्ट थिंग इज दैट, एंड देन सेकंड इज डिस्कवरिंग योर ऑडियंसेस। तो अभी आज के टाइम पे इवन एमबीबीएस क्राउड इज अ गुड चंक ऑफ क्राउड। लाइक राइट नाउ इफ आई एम हैविंग से 100K सब्सक्राइबर्स और सो, तो एमबीबीएस क्राउड उसमें है, राइट। इवन इफ यू गो फॉर समवन लाइक जो नीट यूजी स्पेस में है, मे बी दे विल हैव 500K सब्सक्राइबर, बट इट्स फाइन. मतलब ऑब्वियसली यू हैव टू डिसाइड कि आप किस ऑडियंस को केटर करना चाहते हो. तो इवन इफ यू आर केटरिंग अ वेरी स्मॉल पोर्शन, से इफ यू आर केटरिंग जस्ट फर्स्ट ईयर एमबीबीएस स्टूडेंट, तो दैट इज ऑल्सो अ फाइन पॉपुलेशन, नॉट बाय जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ नंबर्स के आपके इतने सब्सक्राइबर होंगे. बिकॉज एट द एंड आप हर साल बैचेस भी बढ़ते जाएगा तो ऑडियंस बढ़ेगी. But at the end, what you should know is ki whatever you are serving, the content is very nice, and you are, trying to bring a change. So don't worry about the audience. Maybe someone who is watching this who is not medical, say someone is an engineer, और engineer उनको लगता है यार ये चीज का तो कोई population ही नहीं है, but मुझे ये course आता है, तो they should start making irrespective भले 100 लोगों 1000 लोगों, वो audience कहीं ना कहीं से आ जाता है. So that's the thing, that don't worry about the results, don't worry about the audience size. Just make the content which is something which is very empowering for you all, and make something which you can modify in long term. Like when I started as just जो भी पढ़ा रहा था मैं topic, but yeah, later on I felt कि guidance की भी काफी कमी है students को, कि ये topic कैसे पढ़ना है, ये subject कैसे पढ़ना है, तो I modified it to guidance. फिर later on I also thought कि कुछ right. So it's all up to us कि हम उसको कैसे modify करें. Now even if now after 1 year I think इसको ऐसा कर सकता था कि modify into that particular part also.
What advice do you have for medical students who want to also become entrepreneurs?
Right. So again, this is very relatively newer in our field as particularly, because even if now you see out of 100 maybe 5 to 10 students follow this, पहले हो सकता है एक या दो ही करते हो. So this is something that you should be very confident upon, because this is a very good thing that you are starting to doing something which is different from the field in general. So it opens a lot of opportunities right from your own field to also interacting with other field persons as well. So I think this is something which everyone should try doing something of this. It's not कि सबको करना है या ये करना ही अच्छा है. It's a like अगर आपको कुछ ऐसी हमेशा से इच्छा रही है, you are fascinated by this world, कि कुछ एक्सप्लोर करना है, कुछ खुद का बनाना है, and then maybe you can affect the lives out of it. So it's a very good thing that you should start. And one advice would surely be कि don't get affected by your peers, because like I said 100 में से 5 या 10 लोग ही करेंगे, और वो भी आपके कॉलेज में हो सकता है एक या दो ही लोग करें. So it's something कि this will make you set out. Like right now if you are having a YouTube channel, so maybe अभी अभी ठीक है जो भी तुम्हारा अभी तक का रहा हो, but once you have a YouTube channel and you are maybe growing some good on that particular channel, so लोग आपको उससे ही पहचानने लग जाएंगे. लाइक राइट नाउ इफ यू विल बी इन योर कॉलेज, तो निधि निधि का यूट्यूब चैनल है, निधि ये करती है, तो वो आइडेंटिटी काफी अच्छी होती है. तो identity also, but sometimes people can get maybe jealous and or can maybe mock in a fun way कि अच्छा ये तो यूट्यूबर है जो भी, maybe whatever. So you need to be unaffected by both of these things, because you are not doing it for them, you are doing it for yourself. And if you are feeling good in whatever you are doing, so I think it does not matter whether someone is liking your content or not. So this is one thing that everyone should know, that they should believe in themselves. And then second would be कि always keep exploring, because again this is something कि अभी आप हो सकता है start कर रहे हो just because कोई और कर रहा है, but is it your inner calling? That is something which is very debatable. तो वो आगे आगे ही समझ में आएगा once you have explored all the things. अभी आपने कुछ explore ही नहीं किया तो आपको लगेगा ये inner calling है. So maybe sometimes it can be a distraction for your medical field also, because again at the same time you have joined college and everything is fine, but आपको लगता है this is very easy, मतलब this is relatively very easy. Obviously if you think कि अच्छा ठीक है YouTube है या जो भी है maybe, तो once it starts picking up it's very easy compared to other like हमारा profession, because आपको पहले आपकी internship होगी, फिर आपको PG करना है, फिर maybe after that you have to do super specialization, तब जाके you get established as a particular professional. But इसमें it is relatively easy, आप एक दो साल में you will grow huge. So again this can be a distraction as well, but again you need to realize कि this is not a time being thing, this can be a permanent thing, but you also need to know कि आपको main जो करना है, तो it is up to you to develop it as a side hobby, or even if you want to do it full pursue, then you should have your inner calling. Not कि ये easy way है तो ये कर लेते हैं, because that is a very big difference, क्योंकि easy way तो सबके लिए है, but आप उसको करने के बाद आपको कैसा लग रहा है, that is more important.
No, but not just YouTube, but there are like some people who also want to do something else also. मतलब ऐसे business, मतलब खुद का कुछ business और वो सब. तो
Right. Right. So in the startup way also, that only I told ki once you get some idea, maybe some kind of product, maybe like something like if you have read about Marrow, Dr. Deepu Sebin sir, he's MD medicine, but he started something on the lines of, which is basically a PG preparation at Q Bank से start किया, and basically now it has grown to every medical student's iPad. So basically that is something which again starts off as a experiment कि आपको लगता है कि अच्छा this thing is important, ये जरूरत है तो आप start करते हो, and then you basically grow in your team. But again that is something that you want to pursue, and it is again a very opportunity that can be very grueling, because many a times things don't go the way you like. So you need to be very patient, and you need to obviously develop that thought.
Can you tell us about these medical student organizations? You know, there are these medical student organizations, they host events and conferences. Do you think we should actually, participate and give our time to these? What is your opinion on this?
Yes, yes, I think it's a very great opportunity. Even in my second year, I started with these organizations, and I was even state academic secretary of one of the organization. So basically, these kind of organizations are very important, because in general, we all know that in medical field, वैसे unity काफी कम है. वैसे people are more of like थोड़ा सा self oriented रहते कई बार. So in these kind of organization, you get an opportunity to interact with lot of medicos. This is one thing, and then second thing is you get to know various leadership qualities as well. Not only just for जो भी strikes and that all is there, but also in regular events. Maybe your college events, maybe your state events, maybe like conferences, workshops. So all in all, it becomes a very great environment. And even if you don't want to organize, or you don't want to be in the leadership quality skills, you can just be a member, or you can you actively volunteer कि जो भी आपकी workshop सारी you attend them, because many a times it's not possible for you in say your second year कि आप एकदम confidently hospital में जाओ और बोलो कि मेरे को लेप्रोस्कोपी देखना है. So but at the same time you might get a workshop जिसमें लेप्रोस्कोपी सिखा रहे हो, ECG सिखा रहे हो. So this is something कि ECG हो सकता है आप even काफी senior level तक भी आप आ गए, आपको ECG नहीं आता है. But at the same time someone who has attended this workshop, तो कुछ नहीं तो बेसिक एक आधे घंटे एक घंटे के लेक्चर में ही विल गेट समथिंग आउट ऑफ इट कि कैसे ईसीजी का अप्रोच करना है. So basically these are just some of the examples of the activities conducted in these organizations. And again, someone who is very enthusiastic in research or these kind of activities can develop a great CV also from this. And even if you are not pursuing USMLE, a great CV will always help you. And even in Indian context, if you want to do any side hustle, maybe on LinkedIn or maybe on any other platform, so these kind of things will really help you.
But it now be time you shouldn't put into this now, because it can start affecting your studies. I've seen people who have started neglecting their studies and just keep organizing workshops. वो सब बहुत होता है.
Correct. So again, this is something which happens with every time. Even if like right now you say कि someone who is very enthusiastic about traveling. So अब एक ट्रिप लगाई, दो ट्रिप लगाई, पर अब ट्रिप ही लगाए जा रहे हैं और पढ़ाई
आदत
छोड़
हो
दी.
जाती है, then you
हाँ,
can't stop.
right. So that happens with everything. So that is again you need to understand कि but इसका मतलब ये भी नहीं कि आप कुछ एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर ही नहीं करो इस डर से कि उसकी आदत लग जाएगी. तो दिस इज समथिंग, ये तो हम स्कूल टाइम पे करते थे कि बैडमिंटन खेलना है, क्रिकेट खेलना है किसी को, तो घर वाले अकेडमी नहीं डालते थे कि अगर इसको अकेडमी में डाल दिया तो ना पढ़ाई से ध्यान हट जाएगा. तो वो एक सर्टेन टाइम तक चलो आपने कर लिया, आपने नीट यूजी क्रैक करनी थी तो आपने सब चीजें छोड़ दी, बट आप कब तक वही करोगे ना. तो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड.
Okay. Now we are going to do a rapid fire question. We asked people on Instagram to ask us some questions, and they have asked their doubts. So the first question is, internship में how did you do PG की preparation? How are you doing
Right.
it?
Right. So I think this is something which is again very difficult task. You have to sort of time from every postings, and this is something which again goes in the factor ki you can't cover everything. So you need to be very first of all your approach should be very concise कि how you should approach it. You should not be much confused कि ये भी कर लिया, ये भी कर लिया, ये भी कर लिया, but at the end you can't revise anything. So first is your approach should be very concise. You should consult as many as seniors as you can कि how to do this thing. And then third is that once you start you should believe in yourself कि whatever approach you are doing is fine for you, because everyone has different kind of approach, but at the end the result should be the same. And then fourth is कि try to catch out time when you can. So basically there will be days when you can't do any of your work, but then there will be days when you are free for entire day. So on those days you need to be very productive, and at the same time you need to give your body the amount of sufficient rest that needs to be given. So I think it's more of a continuous process कि आपको 6 से 8 महीना रोज 6 to 8 hours you need to study. After that you can surely do this.
Okay. So the next question is, are the MCQs given on platforms like Maro and PrepLadder enough for the preparation?
Huh, I think again they are more than enough as of now, because once you start doing exam oriented preparation, like when you are in second year, third year, when you are solving it entirely after some particular topic, उसका वीडियो देखा, उसको पढ़ा, उसके बाद तो आपको हो सकता है लगे कि अच्छा ये टॉपिक पे 20 क्वेश्चन ही है. But when you are in internship or you are revising things in a whole, so it becomes a very difficult task to do all these things. So Joviate is very sufficient, and it's obviously very important to start early so that you can build up your base well, and then whenever you need to revise in short amount of time, you can do that.
The next question is how to choose between USMLE, PLAB, and Indian PG.
Right. So even I did a couple of interviews on my channel as well. So one thing is definitely with respect to the work environment, you should choose that basically what kind of work environment suits you. Some people obviously find Indian जो PG settings है, which are very hectic, because obviously the patient load is huge, and the settings in the government hospital are not maybe that up to the mark. So first thing is that, and then second thing is obviously the pay structure. Then although there's a bit of difference in the जो exams का cost है with respect to US and India, but at the same time the salary or basically the package that you get in US is much high, and that can be also a reason for someone to pursue US or PLAB. And then third reason could be settling up in a country that you personally feel more better ways. So if you are someone जिसे लगता है कि वहाँ पे उसका lifestyle उसे ज़्यादा अच्छा लगता है, तो they can go for there. Otherwise Indian scenario is there.
There is another question. They are asking, what all did you have to sacrifice to get so much in life?
Yeah, I think कि मतलब sacrifice is a very continuous process. मतलब there's not even a single day when, irrespective if you want to be successful or if you are doing something in life, I think even in the most basic form of life, when you are no one, when you are just existing, there are sacrifices. Like maybe आप suppose आप अगर 8 घंटे के बाद उठ रहे हो, या आप 6 घंटे के बाद उठ रहे हो, या आप 12 घंटे के बाद उठ रहे हो, so this is the very basic sacrifice कि अगर आपको कुछ करना भी है तो you have to first sacrifice something ना. So this is very important to learn कि often we need to sacrifice things to achieve something, but at the same time ऐसा नहीं है कि वो चीज मिस आउट हो जाएगी. मतलब इट्स जस्ट लाइक कि अगर आप अभी रोज का 12 घंटे सो रहे हो, तो मे बी यू हैव टू सेक्रीफाइस योर स्लीप, यू हैव टू स्लीप से 6 to 7 hours, but at the same time afterwards you can recover na, you will get a break time or you whatever you want. So it's always important to understand that sacrifices are a vital part, and they should not be glorified so much कि like you have to leave everything just for that one simple thing. Because कई बार क्या होता है कि you leave everything, you start doing that, but many often कई बार result नहीं भी आता है, तो फिर it becomes very frustrating for you, and you आपका belief हट जाता है उस पूरे system से. But it's not like that. There might be some reasons that you need to sacrifice to a part, but it's not like that you have to leave everything in your life for that one particular thing. You can always strike a balance, so that even if result is something which will stay constant, even if you don't, even if you're not, but once you start accepting that process, then you become very mature.
Yeah. The next question is, how do you manage both studies as well as your social life?
Yeah, so I think this is again something which is very difficult to manage, and I have learned this the hard way कि it can't be managed as easily said. Because like even if I told you the rule in the earlier part of video कि एक दिन मैं isolated रखता हूँ video creation के लिए, but social life can't be isolated ना कि एक ही दिन मैं बाहर जाऊंगा और बाकी दिन मैं अंदर रहूंगा, तो it's not possible. So this is something that again is very subjective कि how kind of a person you are, how much you are socially active, and what again gives you a great sense of happiness. So basically if you are someone who is obviously not well accustomed to missing on the social life, then I think that should be your not number one priority, but that should be a high on your priority list, because it is very important for an essential nice functioning of yourself. But if you are someone who want to sacrifice, again the word sacrifice, for achieving something, then you can surely go on for it.
So the last question is, how can we prepare for NEET PG from the second year itself?
Right. So I think this is something which is again very something which is very continuous process. It's not like you can do this particular thing to get that. So basically, once you are whatever year of MBBS student you are, it's very vital to understand that whatever these exams are, these will be just testing your knowledge. So first thing is to build your knowledge at a great level. So whatever standard books you can read, whatever nice kind of lectures you can listen, maybe in your college or maybe the apps that you are using, as much as you can understand the concepts. Because once your concepts are clear, you can surely revise them in no time. But if your concepts are not clear, then you will always struggle, and whatever question अगर थोड़ा सा भी है तो आप घूम जाओगे. So that is something that you should be clear with your concept from whatever source you can. Then practice MCQs, like maybe not very extensive in second year से. Second year में रॉबिन्स करना एंड अच्छा नॉलेज डेवलप करना ज़्यादा एसेंशियल है. बट इफ यू गेट सम टाइम, कुछ रफ MCQs अगर आपको मिलते हैं, तो you can surely start doing that as well. And then main thing is develop good notes, because even if you are studying from Robbins, or if you are watching any particular app, it might not be possible to come back and read it all together. So it's very important कि आप जहाँ भी पढ़ो उसको छोटा कंसोलिडेट कर सको ताकि आप उसको रिव्यू कर सको.
So thank you so much for coming on my channel. I'm sure everyone is super excited for this interview. And it'll be great if you come again and share your experience with all of us. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Nidhi. It was a great opportunity, and I surely hope the audience को भी अच्छा लगा हो. And if you have any further queries, you can surely comment below. Thank you so much. Stay safe.
So that's it with the interview. I hope he has answered all your questions. In case you still have any doubts, you can always ask them in the comments below. To be honest, it took me almost 2 months to make this possible. After a lot of delay and postponing our dates, we finally had this interview, and so I really hope you guys like it. And if you do, please hit the like button and do share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.